Hello, thank you for tuning in to the Harrison County Literacy Volunteers YouTube page. My name is Wendy DeVault, and I'm here today to continue a series of videos on the 8 parts of speech. So far, I've done 4: nouns, pronouns, verbs, and adverbs. And today, I would like to focus on adjectives. So let's take a look at this sentence here. How much further is the park from here? Now, if you didn't have a knowledge of adjectives, you may think that the sentence is correct, but it's actually not. The adjective is further, and you can't use further when you're referring to physical distance. If I can measure it in inches or yards or miles, I have to use farther. So let's change this U to an A, and that's the correct adjective to use. So what is an adjective? An adjective is a word used to describe a noun or a pronoun. Again, we talked about nouns in an earlier video. That's a person, place, thing, or idea. And then a pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun, like she, or you, or it. So let's try to find words that describe nouns and pronouns. Anna has a pink backpack. I have 2 nouns. I have Anna, and I have backpack. Are there any words to describe either of these things? Right here, pink. Pink is an adjective, and it describes the backpack. Okay, down here, they are excited about the trip. Again, we have to look for nouns and pronouns first. They is a pronoun. Trip is a noun. Are there any words that describe they or trip? And right here, in the middle of this sentence, is excited. That is an adjective. Which word is it describing? It's not describing the trip, it's describing the pronoun they. So that's to show you. In a minute, we'll talk about where to place your adjectives. Well, always when you're doing parts of speech, there are questions to ask to help you identify them. These are the 3 for adjectives. What kind, how many, and which one? And here's an example. What kind of day is it? It's a snowy day. How many? 3 steps. Yeah, 3. How many steps? 3 steps. This bicycle. Which bicycle? This bicycle. And remember, if this is by itself, it's a pronoun. But when it's telling which one and there's a noun there, it becomes an adjective. So there are 5 things I want to point out about adjectives. In English, adjectives usually appear in front of nouns or pronouns, usually. Mom made lemon cupcakes. Again, let's think of our words. Which one? How many? What kind? What kind of cupcakes? They were lemon cupcakes. So as you notice, lemon comes directly in front of cupcakes. Okay, that's the adjective. This is the way it appears most of the time, but there are exceptions. However, in sentences with linking verbs, adjectives can follow the verbs. Look at this sentence. My teacher is very cheerful. We learned in a previous video that is a linking verb. It doesn't show action, and it links something in the subject to something in the predicate. What word describes teacher? It's cheerful. That's an adjective. Teacher's your noun. But look, cheerful did not come right beside teacher. So if you think, oh, adjectives have to be directly in front of the noun or pronoun, that's not true. They can be in other parts of the sentence. The second piece of information I want to give you, the most frequently used adjectives are the words the, a, and an. And these are called articles. Let me write that down. And here are some examples. The newspaper, that's your adjective. A book, that's your adjective. And then I wanted to show you the difference between a and an. A lot of people don't know when to use an. And you use an in front of a vowel sound. Not in front of a vowel sound. So, artist, that's why it's going to be an. Egg, So you have to have that N there, okay? Look, hour. That is not a vowel. H is not a vowel, it's a consonant, but hour, that's a vowel sound. So you have to have the N. So I'm going to trick you here. Got the word unicorn. A lot of people see unicorn and they see a U and they're like, vowel, I need an. You're wrong. Listen to unicorn. Yeah, unicorn. That's a yes sound. It's not a vowel sound. So it's a, unicorn. So again, you're not looking for vowels. You're looking for vowel sounds. Okay. The third rule I like to talk about is when sometimes you like to be descriptive and you want to use several adjectives. Well, this is important for non-native English speakers. You just can't put your adjectives in any order on many occasions. That's called stacking. If you want to have several adjectives, you're going to stack them. But in English, we generally do it like this. The article, which I just told you, a, an, or the, followed by size, and color, and purpose. Okay, so let's look at this example. A large purple sleeping bag. Start with the article, a, then go to size, large, then do color, purple, and then what are we using this bag for? What's its purpose? It's for sleeping, okay? Notice, you can't just put them in any order you like. And again, this is for non-native speakers. Sleeping, purple, a large bag. People would probably just like kind of wrinkle their brow and think, what are you talking about? You need to put it in this order on many occasions, okay? The fourth rule, when do you use a comma with adjectives? Okay, that's a big question people have. You use it when you have coordinate adjectives. I know that sounds complicated, but my tricks are really going to help you out. So you don't even have to remember this, remember my tricks. But officially in grammar, a coordinate adjectives are adjectives that don't build on each other. Okay, they stand alone, they're independent. Look at this sentence. Amy loves warm, gooey brownies. Okay, so look for your nouns. Have Amy and brownies. Are there any words describing Amy or the brownies? I see two. See warm and gooey. So how do I know I have to have an adjective there? Look down here. If I can insert the word and right here, and it still makes sense, it still sounds normal, then I need a comma. Let's try it. Amy loves warm and gooey brownies. Makes sense. But then there's another trick too. You can reverse the order of the adjectives, and if it still sounds normal, then use a comma. Let's try it. Amy loves gooey, warm brownies. Makes sense. That's why you need the comma. Now let's try it down here. Jason just got a new winter coat. Okay, look for your nouns and pronouns. Have Jason, have coat. Any words to describe either Jason or coat. I have new and winter. So do I need a comma here? Let's try. Jason just got a new and winter coat. That doesn't make sense. That does not sound normal. You would say new and winter coat. What about if I reverse it? Jason just got a winter new coat. Doesn't make sense, right? That means no comma. You would not. This is important for the ACT and SAT because they often ask you where to put commas. And the last rule before we practice, these are my pet peeves. I had to throw them in there. Avoid confusing these pairs of adjectives. There are two. Farther and further, and this was in my example sentence. Well, how do you know when to use farther with an A or further with a U? Again, this is when you can measure it, physical distance. Further is just figurative, and you might be like, well, what does that mean, figurative? Let's look at the examples. The students had further questions. You can't measure that, like get out measuring tape or odometer or something. So that's further, that's a figurative sense. Further information, again, it can't be measured, okay? But then, north, I can measure the miles. That's farther north from here, or the farther edge of my property. I can actually measure that and come up with a number. If that's the case, then you use farther. And then here's probably another one of the most misunderstood. When do you use less, and when do you use fewer? You use less if the number's measured, and fewer if it's counted. So I think I came up with some good examples. Less water. Okay, you wouldn't say 1 water, 2 water, 3 water. So it's less. You measure water, like in pints and gallons. But then if I say fewer bottles of water, I can measure the bottle, or I can count the bottles. 1 bottle, 2 bottles, 3 bottles. That's why this is the difference. Same thing with time. Less time. Time's like a quantity. We wouldn't say 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, but you would say 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That's why I use less and use fewer. And then again down here, less trouble. Okay, you wouldn't say 1 trouble, 2 trouble. But when I was thinking, what causes trouble? Maybe arguments. Can you count arguments? You can. 1 argument, 2 arguments, 3 arguments. That's the difference. Okay, so now let's practice with 5 sentences. So we're looking for adjectives, and again, ask yourself the questions: what kind, how many, which ones. Our beach vacation lasted 10 days. Okay, so look for nouns and pronouns. I have beach, or excuse me, I have vacation, and I have days. Okay, do any words describe the vacation? Okay, and we have beach. Okay, that's giving you more detail on vacation. What kind of vacation? It's a beach vacation. The word 10, how many days? 10 days. Okay, so those are our 2 adjectives. An old explorer told us fascinating stories. So right off the bat, I want you to remember that this is called an article. So I'll just circle that. Okay, we have explorer, we have stories. Do any words describe explorer or stories? Yeah, he's an old explorer, okay? So notice here, I chose and because old is a vowel sound, okay? A would not work. It has to be an old. Then I have down here, what kind of stories? Fascinating stories. Jess is excited about the first day of school. Again, look for nouns and pronouns. I have Jess, I have school, I have day. So I have 3 nouns. Are any words describing Jess? I see it right here, but notice it's not in front of Jess. This is a linking verb. So excited is here, okay, giving us more detail on Jess. And then we have day and school, okay. It's not school. This is called a prep phrase. We'll do that in the future. But which day was it? Which one? It was the first day. So first is your adjective. This is a fun one. 5 greasy cheeseburgers were in a paper bag. Okay, so our nouns are cheeseburgers and bag. Do any words describe the cheeseburgers? Well, I have 5. Okay, how many? And then what kind? Greasy. Now my question to you is, do I need a comma? Okay, do you remember the rule? Okay, can I put and here and it makes sense? 5 and greasy cheeseburgers. No, does not sound normal. Remember the other way to reverse? Greasy 5 cheeseburgers. No. Okay, so I do not need a comma here. Do not put a comma. And then if you look down here, I have the word bag. What kind of bag is it? It's a paper bag. Okay, and our very last sentence, oh, I almost forgot our article. A, there's that article there. Sometimes teachers tell you to include them, like when you do lessons. Other times they tell you to ignore the articles because there's so many. Just make sure you ask your teacher what she or he wants. Levi has less toys than his little brother. Okay, so we have Levi, we're looking for nouns and pronouns, toys, okay, and we have brother. So do any words describe Levi, toys, or brother? Well, the word less. So remember, this is one of those instances where people confuse it. So what do you ask yourself? Okay, can I count the toys? So you have 1 toy, 2 toy, 3. You can. So less doesn't work. Okay, you have to use, do you remember? Fewer. If you can count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's fewer. Remember, less is measured in quantities. Okay, then you go down here. Okay, what kind of brother? It's a little brother. Okay, so let me go ahead and circle this adjective and circle there. Okay, so that's my lesson on adjectives. Stay tuned for more lessons on the other 3 parts of speech. Thank you.